Voice chat knows. What stock is that again? Welcome to Read the Room with Unc. What is up, everybody? This is Unc here. This week's Read the Room. Big pullback week. A lot going on. If you had some rules, kind of stuck to what you know and played some levels, you made it out okay. If you took some chances, you might have took a haircut last week. Um, just kind of be mindful. Not really out of the woods yet, but a lot of things are on some levels that we have established. So let's since it's Mother's Day here, let's get right into it. First off, I want to give a shout out to Nat, retiring this from the hot list into the Hall of Fame. We caught this before too, and continue to play it in the upper channel. Um, Pretty much at this point in time, if you're on it, you should know how to play it, how it works for you, or if it even worked for you, and if not, it's kind of a rinse and repeat for the rest of us. Not something we can suggest to teach up here on this level, but just another beautiful chart. Great channel, great continuation, good candles. Um, and in a sector we kind of still like, which is people that ship um, oil and stuff like that. So shout out to Nat. And this is another gem from the room that won't be on the hot list, but will still be in rotation. Just so you guys know, my levels are 235 to 260. That's kind of my sweet spot there, taking that 30 cents. So yeah, shout out to Nat. All right, as we always do, alphabetical order. Get right into the hot list. AMRS continues to stay on the hot list. Shout out to Smokey the Clown. I know he's playing this and actually profitable on it. Um, just got to kind of know again, learn how it moves and trades. We just see this level still being tested on the upside here. This has leaps to the 8 to 10 range. So it's kind of why it stays on our radar. Don't really know when the move's going to happen. Kind of below the volume profile levels and the original line. Do have ER coming up, so be mindful of that. A lot of them this week. A lot of these ER plays um, that we will most likely be playing after the ER, not pre ER. Kind of looking for a flush and rebound on um, not beats, but people that meet their ER expectations that just get hammered because of the way the market is working. This qualifies for that. There's probably 6 or 7 on the hot list this week. And right into another one of them, Beyond Meat, one of the professor's favorite plays. Same thing here, it's an ER play. This one is a little beat down. 45 in May, and then sold puts at 40. Kind of are what's the interested from Professor. I on my end like the 35 as the bottom. The sold puts at 40 kind of show that this thing isn't going to stay down here long, and the calls at 45 are a level we already have established. Again, this is an ER play. I'd love this to flush to 30 out of ER on, again, not bad ER news, just they met expectations in the market the way it's been reacting. CDE, still, I believe the flow here. Let me check the note real quick. Yeah, still, it's got 5 and $6 calls on 617. Um, the setup's still there. We did have a little dip here coming into out of the ER. Numbers were not bad. Just a decent range from here to the 4 to 6 or 7 move is 50 to 80%. Mining stock overall just a little beat down, especially after it broke trend. DI is the ADR play, kind of the mutual one. Professor has a couple. Actually, there's a few more than a couple ADRs he likes to play. I pretty much play LG, HL, and this. Um, the 170, 168 level is just well established. You can get a percentage off of that playing back close to 2. We call it Chinese Friday. I'm sure I'm going to say that this week, and they're not going to run on Friday. This one also has the merger vote catalyst coming up. So this is going to continue to bring range for trades. Again, the level I have is like 168 on the chart. It's been pretty successful catching stuff real close to that. Sinclair Oil back again. Another one that meets the ER play. Nice continuation. Kind of didn't respond last week the way most things did. Um, Again, there's a lot of these ER plays on better stocks this week. This one we're just looking for continuation on the move. 45 is the number in the flow, I believe, and we have that on the chart. So that's where we're looking for the breakout. Again, I'm playing these. I'm looking for pullback off ER and then making sure the ER numbers are um, that they met the ER numbers, not that they had a big beat or that they got killed, but just that they were in the same ballpark as their expectations for ER, and then play the flush. Loyalty, I got loyalty inside my DNA. Only thing bad about this, said in voice chat, is Kathy Woods buying it. We do have ER coming up. This is just a good level here to play. You probably can throw a lineup at 265 or so. Let's see what we got here. Yeah, 265 with this $3 channel. The leaps are still six and $8 in the long term. So continue to stay on the hot list. Just like the setup here, kind of trending across the bottom currently. Volume profiles even 350. That's a dang good day trade. There's also $523 calls that did pop up on DNA also. So be mindful for that if you're on the option side. Donut, same thing, same setup. Actually have the ER here. Just looking for this to regain the channel. 17 is still what we're looking for in the flow. I'm playing these all the same way on the ER. Look for the flush. And if the news is, again, decent, mediocre, buy the dip and play the rebound. All right, here's the first one of the Professor Stump Me plays of the week. I never heard of this one before. He has calls 10 and 12C. The volume was just up on those dramatically. The 12 level meets well, and then we have range back here to 16 on the volume profile. So I like the setup from here. Another one looking for the ER flush. Kind of meets all parameters. Good flow setup with this ER stuff. With the ER flush, hopefully catalyst coming up. A lot of that this week. We did find quite a bit of those, which is surprising because we haven't been on ERs lately. Callaway strictly stayed on here because of where it's at in the channel. It's pretty much just right on the level we have, which is the 1982 top end is 27. You can kind of see where the shelf is here at 25 as well. But this 20 to 25 is even playable in my opinion. Again, another one with the ER coming up. I'm hoping to get a flush on this a little bit as well. This one does not have the flow side. It's purely off the chart and channel. So I would really read into the ER without the flow support. Because without the flow support's basically what the whales know. In this case, we're not getting the indication from the whales. Setup and company, though, that side of it has been good. Just looking basically for an ER beat. We get a beat that should trend back through the 20s. Frey, another one. $10 calls June 17th, $8 sold puts this week 520. Or excuse me, 520, that's next week, sorry. And then the ER going this week. This 850 bottom is a bid pretty strong with the RTL box right here. You do get the dips. I think this is actually the one that gave us the flush. That's the proper way to play things, is the flush. A range back to 12, which flow suggests 10, which even that is good. 10 or 12 from the 850 range. So another one to be mindful. It's kind of pick the one you like, the best setup on, or that fits your trading style via price and sizing. Froze back. Same setup as last time. 10 and $12 calls, June 17th. Just it still fits. Everything fits here. Kind of keep getting higher lows. Talks a little bit about getting an entry on this on the share side being a little harder than probably the option side. But if you do get pulled back to the 8s, because I don't think we're going to see 7s again, this could be a good trade back up to the $10 level, being 25%. Fubo, we're still staying in this ball game. The whales are kind of undecided on this. There's a lot of action. Should be a move up eventually. This will get decent news and come out of the funk. Um, it just has enough volatility, especially on the option side, to stay on the hot list. Givo, another ER play coming up again. Interesting that this kind of was the first one Professor alerted on his side. Um, and then on my side, it was there last week because it was back on this level. We do have a higher low here, just like this channel. Um, Kind of interested to see how this one responds around ER. This would be the only one I wouldn't necessarily think there would be a bigger pullback than the 350. GGP Polestar, wait and see. Flow's still there. It's kind of in a great level. It's not really gonna knife outside of the we're not gonna merge news if that ever happened. So we're just kind of wait and see on this one. If we do get another pop, 30%, without any news, I would take my money. But it should come with news eventually, and we should retest, the 14, 15 range, in my opinion. When the ticker changes, we probably get a 20 test. Groupon, another one, ER. So many of these this week. 2025, June and July, still active in the flow, and then with the ER. This one kind of pre-flushing, so kind of in a better position with the $20-$25 calls. Since you're already getting a dip going into ER, you can make a decision after ER, and you don't have to worry about it shooting back instantly. Be mindful of the calls are in June and July, so the move doesn't really have to happen overnight. This could get another dip, but one I'm following on the share side because that's a pretty substantial move. Even if we get down here by 15 to 20, it's 25%. If we can get all the way up to 25, you're over 50. So starting to like the setup. I know the company Groupon. People start to save money. They should do good, in my opinion. Heminex is just the one semiconductor we're keeping an eye on. When they move, it will have decent range. Probably going to be the easiest to play from the share side. ER also coming up. I was only going to say oversold 3 times in chat today. This was one of them for sure. HYMC, kind of the ANC connection. One of the very few social plays we have on there, but very respectful of this 131 line. Kind of the similar setup from last time. Again, it's definitely a wait and see, but low risk, high reward from this position. Very active on the option side, both ways. IMAX still has the same setup to 20, just a little bit more of a slower play. Higher low forming last week, kind of against the trend of the market. Just kind of good to see. Laser. Me and the professor both think someone's shopping for LiDAR. This one's on support. We have 1350 calls and $11 puts. And there's also leaps on this one. So it just it's close. Our numbers are real close, off about 50 cents each way. His window's a little tighter. But just like the setup, and both believe that LiDAR are active. Hall of Famer, Macy's, kind of bounced off the lower level. Really went over. If you have time, I'd watch the Macy's talk in the other room, or in the other video. It kind of covers what we look for on the stock. Just again, 1, 2, 3, 4, once a month opportunity here off the 22.5 level. Invis, other LiDAR play. My channel is 325 to 371. Right now on this one, we have 450, 520, and an 819 5C, which puts us back here. Just like the setup, again, it's another one of the LiDAR plays. Nat kind of stole the show at the top, Hall of Fame. In the channel, you kind of play either in the channel, back out, 270, 280 sometimes. But I kind of like getting it down at the 230 range and just just moving the stop loss up. 260 at weakness. It's kind of my play. But again, there's just a lot of range on this. Be mindful, again, the levels 235, 260, 259 is what I have. The flow is still strong with the $3 calls on this one, I believe. So, yeah, recently added to the Hall of Fame. Another ER play, kind of beat down a little bit. Lemonade, $28 calls. What's showing up in the flow? It's huge range. I really don't have a level established here on the bottom. I'm looking for the flush though. This is more of a flow play, so follow the options on the professor side, especially with the ER. I'm looking for anything sub 20 and good news. OEC, just looking for continuation. Similar setup. Just some of these move a little bit slower. Like how it kind of defied the market trend last week. Another Hall of Famer play. Kind of pulling back a little bit. This still has the flow set up to move to 50 over the summer. Trying to keep you guys on the ones that are rinse and repeat Hall of Fame. I don't think this is going to get any lower than 40. Piton, another ER ER play. Slowly looking at this for volatility or an overreaction leading into ER. Again, we covered this one pretty well in the video. What would be good news and what would be bad news, and then kind of how to play that. Still, I'd be looking for the flush on the share side, but the option volatility should make this playable this week. Rite Aid Rad, liking this more and more every day, especially on the $6 level. If it can keep confirming the $6 level, everything should be good on that. Really like the fact that it has held this for almost 2 weeks, and it kind of showed the range it would give when news does come in positive. Roblox, another one, looking for the flush setup. Professor nailed this in the November ER, so I'm sure he's trying to get the same read as he did last time. To be mindful for his calls. On the share side, I'd kind of just wait until after ER. There's enough range to catch this even if you don't catch it till 30 and it goes to 33, you're still taking your 10%. Crappy Energies, kind of covered that in the voice, all of them, HUSA, Ring, all that kind of stuff. This one had the best flow read here, just the 6. Looking for a little bit maybe pull back since we are kind of overextended, but this thing didn't react to the market last week, and many of them didn't, which was a great sign that they are in control of their own destiny. Root, Professor's just trying to get a discount. Back on the 160 level, you can get a little bit of a dip, but we have higher lows forming. Just nice range for day trade. Kind of one I looked up. This was borderline between my notes and making the hot list. But again, like I said, Professor's trying to get the insurance discount, so everyone buy shares. That was a joke. Red Robin, still the same setup here as last time from the Professor. As well as we'll just hop into that one too right now. Same as Shake Shack. He just has the same setup going into these conference calls. So be mindful in the restaurants if you were already on them last week. SDC, another ER play. Kind of can't get any cheaper. The leaps on this one are what look gravy. Kind of keep us in them in this setup. I'm waiting for the pop because it does have leaps in the future here. I like the 2 to 260 is kind of the area I like to, 2 to 260 is kind of the area I like to play. We're under that right now. So just kind of mindful of this week, especially with this ER on the 10th. STNG, another tanker. A lot like NET in that regards as far as sector goes. Just see the continuation here. No reason to take it off when it's in an uptrend. Upstart, if you can't beat them, join them. Another one with the ER coming up. Way under the $100 level we have established here. Um, but it's going to be called in the room, so we want to keep it at the forefront of your guys' mind. Putting it on the hot list seems like the right thing to do. All right, this one was like the first stock the professor brought up. Well, this and Givo were like the first stock the professor brought up. Um, so it was kind of interesting. But 350 summer leaps and the sold puts at 4 this week kind of were an interesting setup, in my opinion. So we got a $5, $6 level established. Really couldn't find a floor here. And again, has the ER setup. So really high watching that on the news at the ER just because of the weird setup in the flow. Wastewater resources, WWR. Again, another one with the ER this week. It's already kind of got the pre-dip going. Um, I think the comment was, what is this going to go to 60 cents? Um, just want to stay on this because when it does reverse, it's going to have some serious range. And Zillow, another one that kind of got us on the dip idea. This is probably the reason we said this is the way to play a lot of these ERs is because they got a huge dip down to 34 and ran right back to 40. Um, Off basically an overreaction. The news wasn't super bad or really bad at all. Pretty much mixed numbers. So looking for the range back here. So we're keeping this on the hot list to see if this continues. Um, Even back to the 45 mirror is a good spot. No, I got a couple I forgot to input here. Halliburton, 42 was the area of the flow. I just noticed where it was at in the chart. Notice had a small uptrend inside bar play. Looked at the flow read. The flow suggests 30, or excuse me, 42. So I like this level right here as a base of 35 to 42, which is this top right here. So even from here, it's playable back to 42 with the flow. So I'd look for this to be called, and it's pretty slow play. I think that read might come from the lease Afghanistan lease news that they're talking about. Nigerian Amazon back on the hot list right here on the 650 level. The flow is a little mixed, and then but the put call ratio is looking good. Also has ER next week, I believe. But just like this level, we were successful on it before. Back to 12-ish. Even if you look at higher lows at 850 to 9, that's still a good range from 650. RDW, the only space play staying on the list. Excuse me, because of the consistency off the $6 level. Just be mindful that most of the space plays aren't active right now because of the lack of the catalyst. Bros, last coffee standing. Same catalyst. Another one again with the ER coming here. Flow reads still to 50 on this one. HL, it's an inside candle, fine. Had a strong flow read here. We have 515, 513 to 550, and then 617 to 6. Kind of just confirming back to this level here. Again, another ER play, looking for the flush as like the rest of them, but just hit our inside bar scanner. Workhorse here. We have the put to call ratio is looking good, and then the leaps out to 7 Cs. Also a little bit at 20 as well from the leap side. From the TA side, just like the channel it's in, 3 to the $4 range has been playable. Sends a social play. Like these ads under 2. Look for volume to pick up. Look for another pop, as has happened before. Lots of consolidation in the chart, but we've had a lot of buying on low volume, which tends to be front loading. LAC in the channel, bouncing off the line, looking for that same setup we have last time. It still has the leaps in the summer to 40. This is getting real close to Hall of Fame, especially the way this channel has performed. All right, next to DWAC and we'll just run them together here. CFVI. CFVI I like a little better, especially off the 1127 level, but both of these are just getting mentioned because they kind of run hand in hand together around the Trump Rumble or whatever it's called, and then with the Twitter being in the news. I just want to be mindful of those. Professor calls this regularly. For me, the 30-32 range is probably the biggest pivot on the chart. Mid candle back here. Yeah, 30-30, by 30-32. So just be mindful of that area and when they're called. All right, that does it for the hot list this week. Right around 45 still. Be mindful of to pick, maybe 10, 15 at the most that you like. Get that down to maybe 3 to 5 on the day, and read notes and kind of coordinate your plan of attack. Now we can get into some other mentions, kind of some social and ER mentions. ATER has ER. The flow still suggests that the whales are pushing it both ways. 750 kind of stands out on the call side through all the flow. PLTR was also not mentioned. They have ER this week. Social plays BBIG will still be in the mix. The $3 level is where it's at right now. I've said it the whole time. I like the 220, and then we move to 250. Kind of seeing what it does off the $3 level this week. CYN will also be in play, especially with the inside bar here. Just look for higher lows. It's more of playing the pre-market levels. Can't really give you any levels currently. I will say if we do break this mid candle, the $3 level, maybe 275 is kind of the huge spot in it. This one kind of the unsung hero. I called this back here off 168, and it just never stopped. I definitely didn't get all of that move, but we're getting back down to a higher low area, or area where you'd like to see a higher low. So I'll be watching this. HYMC is on the hot list. I'm not going to talk about that. KAVL, this was a previously winner for us. It's just getting a bit oversold. I haven't seen any social on this yet, but if social start getting on this one again, it'll be good. Also like where Mullen is currently, just like the 120 level, especially for a reversal, kind of fits the thesis on the original trade, a good higher low spot. Excuse me, for Mullen. VRM, it's not CRM, sorry, VRM has not made up his mind yet, but the candles are getting tighter. Also has the ER, that might be the catalyst to get the social push. They can usually spin any news, get people to believe it. So be on the lookout if that pops up. And then GF, AI, this is again tight candles, extremely oversold. Second time I've used it in the video. I got one more, and high short interest on this. So kind of a big spread of them. That was like 6 or 7 social plays, but a couple of those should be in the mix, along with I think Redbox might take a back seat this week. Monday will be huge for Redbox. Again, mid candle here is $5. It held the $6 level, 550, pretty good. So anything above that, we'll keep it in play. When we get down to about the 5 level, I think it will. Once we get back to forge, it's gonna fizzle out a little bit. But yeah, so that's the week on the socials. All right, everybody, let's have a good week. Definitely read the room, respect the lines. Let's have a plan. Know that one good trade is better than 3 good, 3 bad. And let's stay inside the fence that we know. And as always, read the room.